Mr. Manzar, Dr. Kaul, Dr. Shadrach, Dr. Pilar Picasso, and distinguished guests. All of you are aware that in this digital age, libraries are facing challenges from within and outside. This can be confronted by implementation of modern knowledge management techniques backed by a traditional functions of libraries. Tremendous development of information and communication, technology, and continuing pace of change warrant the Indian society must give in priority to meet the challenges of a knowledge society. The bottlenecks that has been told about that the public library sector has, after repeating of all these things, has become cliche. Whatever may be, some of the bottlenecks that I identified during my long association with the public library, I would find it out that lack of unified policy guidelines regarding developing libraries into state-of-art knowledge management and dissemination centers, lack of sufficient budget funding, lack of adequate staffing, lack of staff training and domain knowledge regarding available modern technologies, tools, and management, and lack of adequate collaboration among professionals. Towards making India a knowledge society and to respond to the global challenges, Working Group of Libraries of National Knowledge Commission, after carrying out a process of consultative review, analysis, and recommendations, observed, I quote, that libraries in India need to make a paradigm shift from the present strategy of collection or acquisition of knowledge to a strategy of knowledge access. Keeping in view all these facets and focused areas, Working Group of Libraries recommended for setting up a national mission on libraries, besides flagging 9 other recommendations. The Ministry of Culture, Government of India, set up a high-level committee, that is National Mission on Libraries, to ensure sustained attention of development of libraries and launched a central scheme, National Mission on Libraries, for setting up of a commission. The National Mission on Libraries held a number of meetings to identify the core areas that are to be taken to the improvement of library and information sector of the country, and formulated the scheme with the following 4 components. 1, creation of National Virtual Library of India, setting up of model libraries, quantitative and qualitative survey of libraries, and capacity building. The object of National Virtual Library that it would provide a wide public access at local, national, and global levels to all the available knowledge resources through open source platform in multilingual environment. NVLI would build a comprehensive database for this information and present it in a user-friendly service, including multilingual services. It would also provide all the information generated in India and about India and be made accessible through a powerful search engine, through a number of web-based information services, making best use of the information technology. The target users of the NVLI, as was envisaged, will be the students, researchers, professionals, doctors, novice users, including educationally, socially, economically, physically disadvantaged group. The second recommendations of the National Mission on Libraries is that to set up model libraries. The purpose of setting up of NML model libraries is to develop the 35 state central libraries, 35 district libraries, and 6 libraries under the Ministry of Culture to meet recreational and cultural needs to the community, to provide free access to all publications, including government and institutional documents and online full text resources, to facilitate reference service to help public in finding appropriate resources for study and research. The infrastructure of these libraries would also be upgraded, both from the technological point of view as well as other structural and logistic support. In addition to the upgradation of infrastructure and technology of these model libraries, all the 35 state central libraries and 629 district libraries of India and 6 libraries under the Ministry of Culture would be provided network connectivity either through NKN or National Information Center network. The qualitative and quantitative survey, the purpose of this survey of libraries is not only to acquire descriptive statistics for getting a baseline data for policy and planning about the public libraries and other libraries. It would also study the level of satisfaction of library users, to study the perception about the library, if these libraries are meeting the demands of the knowledge society or knowledge era. It will also analyze the role of the libraries as readership promoters, as well as the new role as service and information providers, meeting the requirement of the users in the electronic and internet era in relation to their academic and recreational needs, as also in connection with their business, jobs, financial, and other matters. In order to achieve the goal of creation of a knowledge society, the subgroup of working committee put stress on the capacity building of the training of the library professionals so that they can meet the challenges of the technological explosion. And human resources is required. They thought that human resources is required to be built up for a smooth transformation from the present one. The purpose of capacity building is to contribute towards overall development of library professional and personnel through training, workshop, to develop online training modules, tutorials, and e-learning modules for libraries, to develop expertise in handling technology tools, and inculcate the library personnel the requisite managerial, analytical, decision-making, planning, and organizational skills to get the staff trained in accessing online resource set and other ICT applications in the libraries. In the present scenario, when the Panchayati Raj institutions in India are being strengthened by democratic election, financial devolution, led to the beginning of an era of the new empowerment at the grassroots, an emergence. Welcome, sir, Honorable Minister. And the emergence of India as a waking up economic giant with skilled human resources, the library and information sector should be equipped enough to face the challenges of ushering a new knowledge society and provide necessary support to ensure that the people from all walks of life and parts of India have an easy access to knowledge relevant to their needs and aspirations. The conference's theme, Transforming Public Libraries in India, Envisioning the Future, should have addressed these points, and how the growing young population of India should get benefits of the public library services. I hope this will also augment some leads on the basis of which libraries could be managed on a redefining role, and how to impress upon the policy makers should rise on the occasion and help to create a knowledge society that meet the demands of the people. I thank you. I heartfelt thanks to the organizers of this seminar and this conference that they have invited me and shared the dais with the distinguished people. Allow me to share the dais with the distinguished peoples. I thank you all once again. Namaskar.